Good evening. Welcome to First Church of Religious Science here in New York City. Welcome to our Zoom call. This is our Louise class, our self-healing class. This is the home of Raymond Charles Barker, and Louise was a practitioner here. I'm delighted to have you all with us, whether you're joining us for the first time or tuning in if you're one of our regular attendees. I want to welcome all of you who join us on any of the social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and X. At First Church, we offer a variety of spiritual gatherings each week. Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock, we have a creative living series where we discuss spiritual principles to enhance our everyday life. Thursday, this class is based upon the teachings of Louise Hay and Ernest Holmes. As I mentioned, Louise Hay was a student here and a practitioner here, and we've been carrying on her work for many years, every week, Thursday evenings at 7. Our Zoom links are the same for Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so jot them down. Better yet, send a message, private message in the chat room to Jimmy or myself with your contact information. And that way we will be able to send you an e-letter filled with spiritual gems and invites. If you include your phone number, we will be able to send you a quick text before the class so you can join. So this class is our self-healing class where we explore the transformative teachings of Louise Hay. We look every week to remind ourselves how to heal and uplift ourselves through affirmations, through affirmative prayer, and other means. On Sunday mornings, our main service starts at 10:45 a.m. That's our meditation, followed by an uplifting spiritual lesson. We're grateful for your presence here and for your participation. After every gathering, we have a time for personal sharing, which is the time that everybody usually loves because we hear each other. We get to grow as a community. We hear each other's demonstrations, and so if you have the time today after the lesson, please say hello if this is your first time. We're grateful again for your presence and your participation. Everything that we do at First Church is offered free of charge. So invite your friends, your family to come and check us out. There are some of you who do want to support the center financially, and there are always support options in the chats. You'll see on the Zoom call, Jimmy and the technicians will float various ways that you can support the center, including our address if you wanted to send a check. But don't feel obliged. The main thing is that you're here. There's usually there's no accidents. People appear in this class at the right time. So let's move on. Again, we deeply appreciate any support, your good wishes, your prayers, your affirmative prayers, your financial support, anything that will help us keep our mission going, where we're trying to reach out to people. It used to be all over New York, and then it was all over the country, and now it's all over the world. Let's start with a poem written by Ernest Holmes today to set the tone for today's message. The poem is entitled The Light Within. Again, it was written by Ernest Holmes, and it starts out this way. In the silence of my soul, I find a gentle peace. In the stillness of my heart, I know that all is well. The light within me shines so bright, guiding me through day and night. I am one with all that there is. I am a part of God's divine bliss. That's it. So now let's take a moment to center ourselves in that wonderful poem and that idea with a brief guided process. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Get comfortable in your chairs. Allow yourself to take a deep breath or two. Yes, breathe in and breathe out. I'd like you to imagine a warm, golden light that is beginning to surround you with each and every breath. You notice the light. It heals, it invigorates everything it touches. So breathe it in. And again, in your mind's eye, in your imagination, see this light surrounding you, comforting you, healing anything within, any emotion, any place of disturbance, healing anything that needs to be comforted or healed. This light is the presence of Spirit. Breathe it in. This light is the presence of Spirit. It's always with you, always guiding you, always attempting to get your attention. Feel its warmth now. Feel its comfort. And as you breathe it in, feel this light filling your body, bringing peace and tranquility. As you breathe out, release any tension or any kind of worry, any kind of doubt. Know right now that you are safe, loved, and connected to Infinite Source. Let's take another breath of this golden light. Let it go in and out. It knows where to go, what to touch. Just allow it to go in and out. Know that it's healing, it's comforting, it's rejuvenating, it's reinvigorating. And know that all is well. So now, gently bring your awareness back to our space, feeling a bit refreshed and centered. Tonight's class, Louise class, is entitled Unveiling Your Inner Healing, Embracing Your Power, Embracing Your Potential. This gathering is about learning to love yourself more and more. It's about learning to love ourselves unconditionally and without reservation of any kind. I know that seems like a tall order, but that's what we're here to do, is to realize who we are, that we're one with the One, we're one with this love, we're an inlet and outlet of it. So this particular gathering is about, again, learning to love ourselves unconditionally and without reservation. It's about coming from a place of deep connection. We often start our affirmative prayers by saying we recognize and we know that there's a power and there's a presence, and that power and that presence is in us, operating through us now. So this class is about learning to love ourselves more, to love ourselves unconditionally, again, without reservation, and learning to come from a deeper place of connection. It's our intention day by day, week by week, to awaken to our true nature, to realize that we are one with this divine source. You have often heard Louise Hay say, deep at the center of my being is an infinite well of love. It's there. It's there within you, waiting your discovery. Many of you on the call know that it's there, and you practice meditation and affirmative prayer, and you connect with this power, and you allow its guidance. So let me say for those who are new, that this power is there, waiting your discovery. It's always there, offering you its guidance, its wisdom. You are as the universe, as Source, created you, whole, complete, and perfect in every way. Some of you may struggle to believe this still. Some of you are clinging to ideas that you have flaws, or you might feel inadequate in some way. Some of you are still judging yourself harshly. But all of us, every one of us, are moving forward bit by bit. Each of us are evolving, or as one of my teachers used to say, evoluting along. So Louise would say, never, 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 never criticize yourself for being where you are, because you are a work in progress. You are a divine being. You are a spiritual being. And you're growing in knowledge. Your awareness is expanding. So let's breathe in that healing light again that we spoke of earlier in our meditation. And let it touch any place of unbelief or any disturbance, neutralizing it now. And let's say to ourselves, I release this now. And whenever anything that comes up for you in the way worry or doubt, neutralize that idea and say, I release this. I release that which doesn't serve me. And I replace that thought with a higher thought, a better thought, a thought of truth. I'd like to share a story, but before I do that, I want to share a profound truth with you. You, yes, you are the one that you have been waiting for. We've done a class on that very subject before. It's an important idea. You are the one that you have been waiting for. Now think about that. You are the one who holds the power to transform your life. Yes, you come fully equipped. Raymond Charles Barker would say you are the whole bit. It might have taken you quite a while to realize this, and some of you are just hearing it now. Many of us have thought that someone out there somewhere was going to change us or help us or save us, that someone was going to do something to rescue us. We understand now that it begins with us. And we understand furthermore that we have the power to change. We have power to use. Ernest Holmes would say there's power for good in the universe, and we can use it. And as you come into this teaching and you embrace this teaching, you will learn that you want to use it. You're here to grow and to evolve. We learn here that our word is our wand, and that we can begin anew and have a new moment anytime we decide. Raymond Charles Barker would say, yesterday ended last night, and so it did. And we're in a new day, and this is a new moment. So we can change, we can transform, but we've got to want to. And we need to have the willingness to let go of things that don't support our well-being. Or said another way, we need to have the willingness to change and let go of the lesser ideas for the greater, because we are always unfolding and evolving as spiritual beings. We're always becoming more. Through all the wonderful lessons that life presents, we're growing, we're evolving. We are a spiritual activity in the mind of the universe, each and every one of us, and we are expanding always. We are always becoming more and never, never less. In many of Louise Hay's workshops, participants would engage in mirror work, looking at themselves into the mirror, looking into their own eyes, and affirming, I love, accept, and approve of myself exactly as I am. Here's a new affirmation to try. Look into the mirror and say, as you connect with yourself, I am the one that I have been waiting for. Yes, say that. I am the one that I have been waiting for. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but with practice, it becomes a very natural thing. We have spent a great deal of our life being critical of ourselves. Some of us have spent years of being critical of ourselves because it's a pattern that, we had with us since we're children. So we want to release the need for being critical. We want to release the need for using the word should and being judgmental of ourselves and others. Because we are in a new day, we are in a new moment, and we have a new awareness that comes from practicing the affirmative life. Let me share a brief story with you. I think I've shared it before, not too long ago, actually. We once had a student, Mary, at the church who had a journey somewhat similar to Louise Hay herself. Mary lived a long, fulfilling life and made her transition a few years ago. I remember her well. In every respect, it was evident that she healed her life. She was happy. Her life was filled with love and friends. And she had vitality, a certain vitality, right up to the very end, and a peace that many envied. When Mary first came to us, though, she was burdened with self-doubt, worry, and she had a long history of physical and emotional pain, bad relationships. But as soon as she found this teaching, she got very excited about her life. She embraced it. She wrote everything down. She worked with her affirmations, and she started looking into her eyes, doing mirror work. The same affirmations I teach you week by week. I love, accept, and approve of myself. Or I love, accept, and approve of myself exactly as I am. And soon, these affirmations really began to do their work. She really worked on affirming her own worth. Over time, Mary's health greatly improved. Her relationships got much, much better. And she found a great sense of peace. She often shared how looking into the mirror and saying, I love and accept and approve of myself exactly as I am, changed her life completely. Mary, to no one's surprise, became a beacon of hope and inspiration. At least she did to quite a few people, those who knew her, proving that all we have is the power to heal ourselves and transform our lives. And that was enough. We all have the power to do that, to heal our lives and transform our lives, or to heal ourselves and transform our lives. Let's affirm together. The peace of God, the peace of Source, is my one goal, my purpose, my function in my life. I now let go of worries. I release them. I release worries, fears, resentments, and anger. I move into peace, knowing that I exist in Source. So you could close your eyes now for a little bit more. Take a deep breath, and then another. With breathing, healing light, imagine this golden light that we spoke of once before, surrounding you, filling you with warmth and peace. As you breathe it in again, feel this light filling your entire being. As you breathe it out, release any tension. And know that you're safe, loved, and connected to Source once more. And as before, say to yourself to reinforce, I am the one that I have been waiting for. I'm whole, complete, wonderful, and perfect. Breathe that in. Breathe it in to cement that knowledge. I am the one I have been waiting for. I am whole, complete, wonderful, and perfect. So now let's move forward to today's lesson, grounded in the truth that we've shared in the meditations. Louise's philosophy was centered in the belief that our thoughts shape our reality. Whatever we choose to believe becomes true for us. So that would tell me if I choose to be negative, and I've always been negative, it's going to be true for me. And that's the teaching. As within, so without. So when you come into this teaching, we're going to challenge you to change your thinking so you can change your life. If we believe we're unworthy in any way, if we really don't think that we're good enough, that becomes our reality, unfortunately. But if we believe we're worthy, we begin to love ourselves more, and we believe we're capable, our lives will more and more reflect the belief that we are worthy, we are capable. If you're going through tough times, and a lot of people are, you might say the economy is tough, and you're experiencing financial setbacks or health issues or relationship challenges, look at the thoughts you're thinking and the beliefs that might be contributing to these situations. Even though sometimes these situations might be true, things might be happening, there's oftentimes a lot we can do with our thinking to change our situation. Here's an affirmation or two. You might say, I am worthy of all the good that life has to offer. I am supplied and supported in every way. I am the creator of my reality. When you're faced with a challenge, instead of seeing the obstacles, the obvious obstacles, challenge yourself to view these happenings as opportunities for growth. So anybody can talk about the problem, and most people do. But if you're practicing this teaching, try it another way. Instead of seeing all the obstacles, view each and every one as an opportunity for growth. Because as I've learned many years ago, that you always are more than the problem. You're always greater than what's in front of you. So let's challenge ourselves to see any of these problem areas, any obstacles as opportunities. You've heard the expression here. You've heard me use the expression before. There must be a pony in here somewhere. I'm sure you've heard this story before. The phrase comes from a story about two young boys. One boy was a pessimist, really negative, always seeing the worst things and the negative side of life. And the other boy was an optimist. In contrast, he was always seeing good things. He was always looking for the positive things. One day, the parents decided to conduct an experiment with their own children. They placed the pessimist in a room filled with toys, and they placed the optimist in a room filled with manure. Yes, cow manure. After some time, they went back to check on their kids. The pessimist was sitting in the room full of toys, complaining about how boring they were and how he didn't like any of them. Meanwhile, in the next room, the optimist was happily digging through a pile of manure, exclaiming, with all this manure, there must be a pony in here somewhere. The lesson here is very clear. Our perspective shapes our experience. Yes, our perspective always shapes our experience. Each experience, whether positive or negative, is an opportunity to learn and to evolve. By adopting the mentality or the mindset of the optimistic child, we can transform our challenges into opportunities for growth. Again, you have the ability to name things. You have the ability to change your thinking, to shift your consciousness, to develop what we call the affirmative way of seeing things, and you will see that your challenges turn into opportunities of one kind or another. Instead of being bogged down by difficulties, we can dig deeper, knowing that there's something valuable to be found here, even in this most difficult time. Here's an affirmation for you. I am worthy of all the good that life has to offer. So when things aren't going your way, or this is another good one to have in your repertoire, I am lovable and I am worthy of all the good that life has to offer. I am the creator of my own reality. So remember, when faced with challenges of any kind, instead of seeing them as obstacles, we intend to view them as opportunities for expansion, for growth. Every experience, any experience, whether positive or negative, is an opportunity for us to learn and evolve. Everything ultimately is spirit, and everything is a learning experience and for our greater good. So no matter how difficult an issue we're dealing with, it is only an outer result of an inner thought or inner set of thoughts we're thinking, a pattern. So let's take a moment now to reflect on any challenge that might be in your life. Could be with your children, could be with school, could be with a relationship, could be with your health or someone else's health. Let's take a moment to reflect on any particular challenge that's in your life. Ask yourself, are there any thoughts, are there any beliefs that I have that might be contributing to this situation? Are there any thoughts or beliefs that might be making this situation worse? Is there any place where I need to forgive? Is there anyone I need to forgive? Again, what thoughts, what beliefs am I holding that could possibly be contributing to this situation or making it worse? So that's something to reflect upon whenever you're going through a challenge. And you ask yourself these questions not to be critical of yourselves, but just, it's like you're digging to find gold. Because when you find a pattern that's working against yourself, then you can more readily release it and replace it. I have another story. This story is about an individual by the name of Mark. Mark, another student of the church, came to us feeling trapped in a cycle of negativity and self-doubt. He had lost his job, or he wasn't working when we first met him. He was struggling with health issues and living in a shelter, and he had a lot of problems. Mark began to attend our classes. We're meeting at a different location regularly, and he began to embrace the teaching. And he was particularly fond of Louise. He started using small affirmations, telling himself, I'm deserving, I'm capable of having a better life. And then it moved up to, I'm capable of having a great life. Slowly, surely, his outlook started to change. He found a job. It wasn't a great job, but it was a job that was a good job for him, and he liked it, and he grew to love it. And the thing that started to happen with Mark is health challenges seemed to improve because he was taking better care of himself. He found a better place to live. And each and every step he made began to inspire other people. There were quite a few people at the church that were interested in his well-being, and he began to create a life for himself that reflected a person who loved themselves. Mark's journey reminded me that change is possible when we align our thoughts with our true potential. Remember, you are the power and you are the authority in your world. Nobody else, not your uncle, not your grandfather. You are the power and you are the authority in your own world. Your thoughts and your beliefs of the past have created your current reality. But you can choose new thoughts. You can always choose a new thought. You can always be in a new moment. You can choose new thoughts and beliefs today that will create a new reality. Say this, repeat after me. I am the power in my world. I am the power in my world. Say to yourself, I choose to create a life filled with love, joy, and abundance. I choose, again, to create a life that's filled with love, joy, and abundance. So let's take a moment to reflect upon this. You might ask yourself, or I'll ask you, how can you embody self-love and inner healing in your daily life? What more could you be doing right now to have more self-love and more inner peace in your daily life? Take a deep breath, close your eyes if you feel comfortable, and let this question settle in your mind. How can I embody more self-love and inner healing in my daily life? Think about it, make a mental note, and feel free to share your reflections with those in our group when it comes time for personal sharing. So again, the question is, you ask of yourself, how can I embody more self-love, more inner healing in my daily life? Keep this idea with you. And I have a couple good quotes that I want to share with you to inspire you on your journey. Mother Teresa said, peace begins with a smile. So think about that. I could be at a new moment with a smile. Peace can begin right there. Norman Vincent Peale offered this. He said, change your thoughts and you change your world. Change your thinking, change your life, right? So Norman Vincent Peale said, change your thoughts and you change your world. And from Napoleon Hill, one of my favorites since I was very young, do not wait. Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you might have at your command. And better tools will be found as you go along. And I think that's been as true can be. Be brave enough to make a beginning. Time will never be just right. Make a beginning, start where you stand, work with whatever you have, realizing you're always evolving, you're always going to be more, right? So begin. Begin living this affirmative life with whatever tools you have at your command. And better tools will be found as you go along. Ernest Holmes himself said, the science of mind teaching is open at the top. So begin to practice living the affirmative life, seeing the good. Be like the optimistic boy who was in the room full of manure saying that there must be a pony in here somewhere. Begin with this affirmative approach. And William James has a wonderful quote along these lines. He said, act as if what you do makes a great difference. He went on to say, because it does. So act as if what you do makes a difference, a big difference, because it does. I have a closing affirmative statement for you today, affirmative prayer. Let's conclude with this affirmative prayer. I recognize and I know I'm one with life, one with power, one with love. I am the consciousness of life. I am pure being. I am all there really is. This in no way detracts from another living soul because we are all the same. I am the consciousness of pure being. My subconscious mind accepts this with all its implications. I grow in wisdom and understanding every day, in favor with spirit and with humanity. I am the embodiment of peace, and I declare harmony in every interaction. As I embrace all of this, as I embrace my divine essence, I spread love, understanding, peace, tranquility. And so it is. So now we're going to turn the call over to all of you, the broadcast. This is a wonderful time if you're new to say, hi, I'm new. I'm from Florida, New York, wherever you are. Or share what it's been like being you this week, what your thoughts have been like, your demonstrations. So we look forward to hearing from as many people as we can. We usually allow time for a minute or two for anyone who wants to share. Please don't feel obligated, but we encourage you. We'd love to hear from everyone. Thank you for being with us today. And so I'm looking forward to hearing from all of you.